I know.
Hey,
I woke up this morning. What am I going to say today?
well, hey, I did some really. Do you need to wait and look at the film, or can you tell us now about what some of the good things and bad things that the team managers did last night in their victory over USC?
I was getting a play-by-play during the day or during the evening, and I guess it was a hard-fought victory. I heard they had to come to a replay at one point, instant replay, but they hung in there and they got the win, so I was proud of them.
Are you concerned that they almost let a 24-12 lead get away?
Was it 24? I knew it was 7-1 or 7-0 at the end of the first, and then
24-12.
They didn't send me the 24-12. Yeah, I was about to drive over here.
There's some things that need to be cleaned up.
No, I think it's the last game of the year. They got to win. Gives us something to work on for next year.
You're not going to play Stanford? They won't play you guys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of that ritual, and I think that's pretty neat that they do that.
Everybody here, the bands, everybody plays. In fact, the
Is that right?
sports writers want to have a game, but we never get past the bar to go play.
Wow.
Actually,
Yeah, I thought that was pretty great. They told me about that 2 days ago. That's pretty neat.
In other words, I got no questions to ask you about this game.
Yeah,
unless you want to tell me,
obviously,
unless you want to tell me about
tomorrow.
Marquise Lee one more time. He was yesterday. He got up.
He's
to
out?
Yesterday he got up to being the maybe the best ever. Is he the best in the universe?
I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating a little bit. I've been privy to seeing quite a few good receivers. And when you're a defensive back coach, you coach a lot of great receivers against a lot of great receivers, and I don't believe I'm overstating it when I think that he'd be an impact player right now at the next level. It's what he is. I was hoping that they made a mistake and he was a junior and he could come out this year, but understanding that he's only a sophomore, we'll have to face him a couple of times.
Any comment that Florida State has sided with USC and they're going to send their Seminole mascot out to the game to throw the spear into the ground?
I don't know. Look, like I said, I'm worried about one thing, and that's what happens between the lines during the game. So,
what have you thought about this week and the manager game and all the hoopla that's around? You got the pep rally and all that kind of stuff.
It'll be fun. The pep rally or the bonfire pep rally tonight. I haven't been to one. We didn't have those back in the ancient days when I played.
Had they invented fire at that point?
Yeah, I think that they were just working on it. It's great. I mean, it's college sports. It's invigorating. It's unique. It's fun. It's not something I've been a part of, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
How does it play into make it more difficult to keep this a normal week?
It doesn't, because it doesn't really affect our players. I think a few of them came out here and watched the game, but they're still going to school and they're still hitting their tutoring and their mentoring appointments and study table, and it's been a pretty normal week for us. I mean, we haven't changed anything at all, so it's been good. The only aberration from what we normally do will be the bonfire tonight, which I think they'll really enjoy.
With all the things on the line this weekend with this game, what do you keep telling your team? What is the message that you want to drive home?
I think probably the most constant message I've given them is control your emotions. Don't ignore them, but control your emotions. Manage your emotions.
Has all the lead up in the week with all the hoopla, with the big game coming up, has that been about what you've expected around campus, or has it surprised you?
It's been, honestly, the hoopla is out there. You know what I mean? The hoopla doesn't affect me, the coaches, or the players, quite frankly. There's a little added excitement. I don't want to minimize it, but my week has been exactly like the last 10. To a T, to the second. And we've kept the meetings and the practices and everything we do with the players exactly like we always do. You don't change things. At least that's my experience. But there's buzz out there, but it hasn't affected me.
I couldn't hear it because of the steam cleaner that's been out there for 3 days. So kind of cut down the buzz.
So anyway.
These are two really good pass rushing teams.
Yeah.
How important is it going to be getting to Matt Barkley, or how important is it to protect Brett, I guess, as far as this game's result goes?
Both are very important, and hopefully we make it hard for them to get to Brett. And I'm sure that one of their goals is to make it hard for us to get to Matt. You know, and Matt does a really good job of getting the ball out of his hands, and so does Brett. That's one thing that Brett needs to improve on and will improve on as he gets experience, is knowing when to just either throw it away or make a quicker decision. But the key to being able to rush the passer is getting him into situations where, you know, you've got him in passing situations. So, you know, we got to win on first down and get it second and long, win on second down, keep it third and long, and then, you know, have a chance to rush. But if it's always 3rd and 3, and he can take a 3-step and get rid of it, it doesn't matter how well you rush the passer, because you don't have a chance to get there.
What have you seen on the tape that changes with Barkley when teams do get pressure on him?
Oh, I mean, he's no different than any quarterback, other than that, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, quarterbacks at all levels are affected by pressure. It's just natural, because there's hands in the throwing lanes. There's bodies that are closer to them. You know, it changes the trajectory that they have to throw the ball at. There's not as many lanes to throw it through. They might have to throw it quicker. So I think no matter if it's Matt Barkley, or it's Tom Brady, or it's Drew Brees, or it's Brett Hundley, you know, pressure can affect them.
Does it create a little tunnel vision sometimes?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask Matt what it creates for him. You know?
He's not coming out here today, so
I have not met Matt yet, so I don't know.
he wears 7. He'll be the guy wearing 7.
Yeah. Oh, I know who he is. I haven't had. I really, honestly, haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet. I know I'll get a chance on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to just shaking his hand. I have a lot of respect for him.
Does Matt have an inherent advantage over Brett in the sense that he's played in a rivalry game like this before, or is that kind of not as big of a deal?
I mean, he has an advantage because he's played a lot more games. You know, Brett's played 10 games. How many has Matt played? Does anyone know?
A lot.
He's played a lot. You know, Brett's played 10 games. So, rivalry game or, you know, pickup game, he has an advantage in that he's more experienced at this level.
You guys playing on Sunday? Game got changed to Sunday.
Did I say Sunday again? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Someday I'll get that right. Hopefully soon.
You mentioned the experience. Obviously, Matt Barkley has played in a lot more games, and these guys have not made it this far, you know, in a few years, and none of these guys on this team have been in this league.
Right.
So at this point, what advantages do they have as a young team going up against a more veteran team like this?
What advantages do we have, or do they have?
No, do you have?
That's an interesting way to pose that question right there. You caught me off guard. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that either team has a great advantage. I think people put too much stock in the past. You know, what's happened prior. For us, this is just it's the next game. It has nothing to do with last year's game, and it'll have nothing to do with next year's game. It's just this year's game. I haven't thought of it in those terms, what advantage we have or what advantage they have. I think it always comes back to getting yourself in the right frame of mind and going out and executing and playing hard, taking care of the football, you know, doing the things that you're trained to do, managing the environment. You know, it's going to be intense in there. You know, having the maturity to be able to handle that. It's going to be chaotic during the game at times, you know, having the maturity to handle that. So, I don't know about advantage or disadvantage.
Have you had to address last year's game at all, or have you just kind of avoided it completely this week?
I haven't avoided it, I just don't care about it. Dr. White? So, okay?
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.